Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Apple's big shift. Why they're moving iPhone and iPad production to India and Vietnam. Apple has made a major move, shifting most of its iPhone production for US customers to India and moving iPad manufacturing to Vietnam, all in an effort to avoid steep price hikes caused by ongoing tariffs on goods from China. This decision comes as no surprise, considering the significant impact these tariffs have had on Apple's bottom line. As we dive into this story, it's clear that Apple isn't alone in this shift. Other tech giants like Microsoft and HP are also making similar moves, citing concerns over tariffs, regulatory uncertainty, and rising labor costs in China. But what does this mean for consumers, and how will it affect the global tech landscape? For years, Apple has relied heavily on Chinese factories to meet the insatiable demand for its devices. However, with US tariffs adding nearly $900 million in extra costs this quarter alone, the company had no choice but to act. CEO Tim Cook explained that while the trade dispute with China hasn't yet caused major financial damage, the long-term risks are too big to ignore. But what does it mean to shift production to new countries? Apple will need to navigate complex customs and import rules in India and Vietnam, as well as local labor laws and safety regulations. The possibility of new duties or trade restrictions tied to the change is also a significant concern. And then there's the issue of origin rules, which can affect whether tariffs apply at all. This is a classic example of the complexity that comes with global supply chains. But despite these challenges, Apple has managed to post strong results for the first quarter of 2025, with $95.36 billion in revenue and $24.78 billion in profit. The impact of this shift will be felt across industries, as US-China trade tensions influence long-term corporate strategy. Other countries like Vietnam and India are also seeing a surge in manufacturing activity, prompting governments to offer tax breaks and other incentives to attract foreign investment. So what's the takeaway here? Apple's move is just one example of how companies are adapting to the changing global landscape. As we look ahead to the future, it's clear that supply chain restructuring will be a key factor in shaping the tech industry. But for now, let's take a closer look at some of the numbers behind this shift. Apple's production costs in India are expected to rise by up to 10% compared to China. And while this may seem like a small increase, it's still a significant blow to the company's profit margins. So, what does this mean for consumers? Will we see price hikes as a result of this shift? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Apple's move marks an important turning point in the global tech landscape. As we wrap up today's episode of iPad Focus, I want to leave you with a thought. The world of technology is constantly evolving, and companies like Apple are at the forefront of this change. Join us next time as we explore more stories from the world of tech.